Okay, so if you've been playing with AI video, you've probably felt it. That sense that your work looks, well, a little too much like everybody else's AI video. If you're tired of that, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break down a system that helps you move beyond just generating clips and into the world of actual honest-to-goodness generative filmmaking. This is all about finding that missing piece, that crucial human touch, that soul.
So let's just ask it outright. Why do most AI videos look the same? You know the look I'm talking about, that super smooth, slow motion, beautifully rendered, but kind of empty feeling. The visuals can be absolutely stunning, but they don't really land an emotional punch, do they? We've got these incredible new tools at our fingertips, but so much of the output feels generic. So let's figure out why that's happening and, more importantly, what we can do to fix it.
You know, this right here gets to the absolute heart of the problem. For too long, we've been confusing generation with creation. Generation is just pulling a lever. It's about getting something back, fast. It's watching the machine do its thing. But creation? That's totally different. That's about making decisions, consciously embedding meaning, and telling the machine what you want to do. It's a complete shift in mindset, and it's the one we need to make.
All right, so here's the game plan. First, we're going to expose what I call the one-click AI trap. Then we'll talk about why your direction is the single most valuable asset you have. From there, we'll dive into a really powerful framework called the Cinematic Control Stack. We'll get super practical with how to design AI-proof scenes. And finally, we'll see why this whole approach is a skill that's going to be valuable forever, no matter what new AI model drops next week. Okay, first things first. Let's talk about the biggest hurdle, the thing that trips up almost everyone when they start, the one-click AI trap. So we've all been sold this dream, right? Just type in an idea and get a movie. And look, it's an amazing feature. But the problem is that these systems are built for one thing, speed. They're optimized for immediacy, not for meaning. They're designed to let you bypass all the hard, messy work of making decisions, what lens to use, how to light the scene, the pacing. But here's the thing, that struggle, those decisions, that is the art of cinema. When we let the AI make all the choices, our intention just gets replaced by probability, and the result is what you could call visual drift. The shot just drifts towards the average, the cliché. And that's how you end up with that generic AI look.
So if the tools are getting better and better, and pretty soon everyone has access to the same amazing technology, what's left? What's going to make your work stand out? Well, the answer is simple, and it changes everything.
This is such a critical point to understand. When the technical quality is basically a given, when everyone can create a technically perfect image, the how becomes easy, it becomes a commodity. The real value, the only asset that truly matters, shifts to the why and the what. That's your direction. The machine is brilliant at supplying pixels, but only you, the director, can supply the intent, the timing, and the soul.
I mean, think about it like this. AI is an infinite engine. It can go anywhere, create anything, forever. But without a precise steering wheel, without your specific human direction, it's just going to drift. It'll naturally drift towards the average, the most probable, the most generic outcome. Your job is to be that steering wheel. You have to grab it and steer with purpose.
Okay, that's the big idea. So how do we actually do it? How do we apply that direction in a way the machine can understand? It's not enough to just want it. You need a system, a repeatable way to make and organize your decisions. And that's where something called the Cinematic Control Stack comes into play. Think of this like building a house. You can't start by picking out throw pillows, right? You have to build the foundation first. That's layer one, your intent, the emotion, the meaning. That's the why. Each layer builds on the one before it, forcing you to move from the abstract down to the concrete. And here is the absolute genius of this system. If a generation fails at the top, you don't just hit retry. You go back down the stack to see which one of your core decisions was weak, and you fix it there, at the source.
Which all comes down to this. This is the golden rule, the one thing to write down. Decisions before generation. This isn't just about learning how to use a particular piece of software. It's a framework for thinking. It's about making all your key creative choices before you even ask the AI to do a single thing.
All right, so we have our decision-making structure. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty, the practical toolkit. How do we actually design scenes that these AI models can pull off without them breaking and turning into a surreal nightmare?
First things first, burn this number into your brain. 2 to 4 seconds. This is your new magic number. Why? Because right now, all generative video models have a physics problem. The longer a clip runs, the more the AI has to guess, and the more chaos and instability creep in.
So keeping your shots short, just 2 to 4 seconds, isn't a creative limitation, it's a technical reality. It's about working with the tool instead of fighting against it.
And this leads us to a whole new way of thinking. Let's stop thinking in scenes and start thinking in moments. A scene, like a character argues with his boss and storms out, is way too complex for an AI to handle in one go. It'll fail. So we break it down into moments, the smallest possible unit of meaning that the AI can execute reliably. Each moment is just one single observable action. So instead of one messy prompt, you have 3 clean ones. A man's eyes narrow in anger, a hand slams down on a desk, a figure turns and walks out of frame. You build the complex story from these perfect, simple pieces later on in the edit.
Now, here is an incredibly simple, practical trick you can start using today. It's called the AND test. If your prompt has the word "and" in it, that's a huge red flag. A prompt like, "A soldier runs through the rain and a drone chases him," is splitting the AI's attention. You're asking it to do 2 things at once, and it'll probably do both of them badly. The fix? Just break it into 2 separate moments, 2 separate shots. Shot A, a soldier sprints. Shot B, a drone dives. You'll get much cleaner, more powerful, and more intentional results every single time.
To make it even easier, you can start by working from what we'll call a safe list. These are scene types that AI is just naturally good at right now. Things like an arrival, where a character just enters a space. Simple. Or static tension, where nothing really moves, but the way you frame it creates meaning. Or just a clean single action. If you start by building scenes with these reliable structures, you'll save yourself hours of frustration and failed generations. So, let's pull back and bring this all home. The specific tools we use, the AI models, the software, all of it is going to change, constantly, probably by next week. So what's the one thing that actually lasts through all that change? I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? As the machines get better and better at handling the technical stuff, the pixels, the lighting, the texture, our role as creators actually becomes clearer and more important than ever. We're the ones who supply the intent, the timing, the soul. That is the part the machine will never, ever be able to replicate. And that, right there, is the ultimate point of all this. The system we've talked about isn't really about mastering a specific tool. It's about building the timeless, permanent skill of direction. It's a way of thinking, a process for making creative decisions that will still be valuable no matter what new model or software comes out next. You're not just learning to prompt, you are learning to direct. So really, this all leaves us with a challenge and an invitation. The era of just being amazed that a machine can generate a video is over. That's the baseline now. The era of actually directing that machine to create something meaningful has just begun. We have the framework. We have the tools. The only question left is, what do you want to say? Go on. Make something that makes us feel.